You know what I could use? What? Another thing to play Sonic Adventure 2 on!
That was cool!
As someone who grew up with a DS and a 3DS attached to my hip almost at all times, I've been yearning for that form factor to come back somehow. Or even better, that same form factor, but with the power and flexibility of a Steam Deck. Yeah, I think you know where this is going. This is the AYN Thor, and it is incredible. It's an Android-based retro gaming handheld that brings back that 3DS form factor in all its dual-screen glory, and it packs a punch. This is something that I knew I always wanted, but it just didn't exist yet. A pocketable GameCube, Wii, DS, 3DS, and so much more. I didn't even really know it existed until last November when I was just scrolling along, but when I found out what this thing was capable of, I was immediately sold. I think the reason I'm so excited about the Thor is that portable gaming hasn't really felt the same since the 3DS was discontinued and the Switch took its place. And after that crazy success, everyone has been jumping on the bandwagon, from the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go, I could go on. Don't get me wrong, I love my Switch and the Steam Deck, but they just barely squeeze themselves into the portable category. I mean, sure, you can take them around with you, but they require their own carrying case or sling bag, and you know what I mean. Because of this, I'm usually playing those consoles at home. The DS was so fun and effortless. I would throw that thing in my pocket and play it any chance I got. With today's consoles, it's just not that easy anymore. That's where devices like the AYN Thor fill the gap. It's super easy to take with me anywhere, and it can play basically every retro game out there without breaking a sweat. It has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 in it, and what that means is that it can basically handle every Nintendo console, even Switch in some cases, as well as basically everything else. Things like the PS3 are still not great here emulation-wise, but with things like GameHub, you can play the PC version of some of those games shockingly well. I wouldn't say it's ever going to match the Steam Deck or something more powerful, but for this form factor, it's really good. And anyway, I really only use this thing for emulation. Everything I've thrown at it runs smooth as butter, even after boosting the resolution, after adding texture packs, and there's dual OLED screens. Dude, I'm just gonna bust. Of course, I've been playing a ton of Sonic games on this thing, and it's just a dream come true to be able to play these games like this. Having my whole childhood library of games with me whenever I feel like it is unreal. All the buttons and sticks feel really good too. Some people really hate the triggers, but I think they're fine. One thing I'll say is that my left trigger was pretty sticky out of the box though. Someone probably got a little too excited at the factory. But who could blame them? Apparently there was too much grease in there, but it was an easy fix and doesn't seem like it was a widespread problem. Battery life has also been really solid. I can play for hours and not have it dip past 50% with the games that I've been playing, but obviously if you play with more recent titles, it's gonna go faster. This is actually my first Android device ever, so the one hurdle I had to jump was just setting this guy up and getting used to how it works. But I'm a smart fella and not a fart smeller, so it wasn't that hard. This thing is also a haven for customizability, which I'm a huge sucker for. You can make it look and function pretty much any way you want with a variety of these front ends. If you're new like me, front ends are basically just apps that give these handhelds a more console-like feel to them. Just a pretty way of organizing and launching your games. I'm currently using this one called Digisha, which is super easy to set up, but I want to experiment with ESD at some point, and this other one that's still in development called Isu that really gives you that 3DS era Nintendo vibe. Plus, the two screens can act independently of each other, so that opens up even more possibilities for customization and multitasking. Our attention spans are cooked as it is, but if you wanted to do this, I think it's at least more stimulating for your brain than doom scrolling. But of course, the dual screens are really meant for DS and 3DS, which feel right at home on this thing. I replayed Ocarina of Time 3D over the holidays, and it was flawless. Maybe even better than flawless, because I used HD texture packs, and it just looked... I've also been going through Pokemon like Platinum and Black 2, and they're great here as well, especially with a DS Lite shader that really gives you that authentic feeling. The Thor also doesn't come with a stylus or anything, so games that rely on it will need you to provide your own. I didn't think I'd care so much since only a few games I really love need a stylus, but I found out the hard way that Kid Icarus Uprising never officially got dual stick support, and my heart was shattered. That doesn't mean I won't smoke y'all in Uprising though. I was and still am god tier at that game. But emulation has its issues like that sometimes. It's really not a big deal when you look at the bigger picture. Remember, the Thor is capable of more than just emulation. It's a powerful Android device in its own right, which means you can play games from the Google Play Store, you can stream your games from the PlayStation and the PC, Hell, you can even connect this thing to a TV for Odin's sake. I'm not really using the Thor like that, but it is cool to have the option. The Thor just reawakens that whimsy that consoles used to have. It feels fun and nifty like they used to, but with modern features and a premium build. As far as emulation on Android handhelds go, I think this is the best option by far right now. I've already preached the Thor gospel to all my friends and family, and some of them are waiting for theirs to ship. If you're thinking about it, now would be a good time to order because the prices will be going up due to the RAM and storage price hikes around the world. So yeah, I recommend getting on that as soon as possible. Fuck AI, by the way. I love this thing. I think you will too, especially if you grew up with the DS or the 3DS. Get one of these.